Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The Gen Z are not giving up, and it is a luta continua. The question that many are now asking, what are they up to? Because they started by saying that they were rejecting the Finance Bill 2024. But when William Ruto succumbed to their pressure after they stormed Parliament and they stormed businesses that are owned by members of Parliament who betrayed them, they still say it is not yet over. It is a luta continua. In their program of 7 days of rage, one of the things that they had stated is that they were not going to allow members of parliament who voted yes for the finance bill to speak in their churches. And last Sunday, you saw the Gen Z literally taking over, and they were expressing their anger and dissatisfaction about our leaders, including William Ruto and the entire Kenya Kwanza government. Now, apparently, they are moving on with this campaign. They are running a campaign called Salimieni Huyo. And what they means, greet that person. Now, Huyo, or this person in quotes here, is the person who voted yes in the finance bill, or any associates of the Kenya Kwanza government, any ally or friend of William Ruto. And they are saying, in the spirit of Salimieni Huyo, any person who will be found in the churches that they go to, watamsalimia, they will greet him or her. And you know the mode of their greetings. If you don't know, just go and retrieve pictures and videos when they stormed Parliament. Now, First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto, a prayer warrior in quotes, has been trying to advocate for trying to sell William Ruto's agenda using the church, whether it is Haiti. She'll be, praying for Haiti, praying for the rains, praying for the bandits, things that the government is supposed to, things that the government are supposed to do what? To implement as a matter of policy. She says we must pray. So, apparently, Madam Rachel was scheduled to go to graze an Arambe in one of the churches in Lavington. And guess what? The Generation Z have said, we are coming for you. We are coming to greet you. It is reported that Salimieni Huyo, Lavington Church cancels First Lady Rachel Ruto's fundraiser event after online uproar. It goes further to say that in the spirit of Salimieni Huyo, Kenyans youths have cornered Lavington United Church, compelling its leadership to cancel a fundraiser event scheduled for this Sunday. Kenyan First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto was slated to grace the event, which aimed to raise funds for the completion of a sanctuary. Now, this was after the invitation card for the fundraiser circulated online, enraging Kenyans who were still grappling with the recent deaths of protesters shot by police officers during the anti-finance bill protests. So, apparently, this church had invited First Lady Rachel Ruto, and the invitation card, the details of the invitation card went online. We have told you that this generation is a very funny generation. They communicate online. TikTok, Twitter, talk of Facebook, Instagram, and that is where the information will spread like fire in a dry bush. Now, they are saying that an invitation card signed by Reverend Simon Mutahi. So Simon Mutahi is the reverend of that church. And this is what the invitation read. The pastoral team and church leadership cordially invite you to a fundraising event to complete our sanctuary on June 30th, 2024 from 10 a.m. at Lavington United Church. The chief guest will be Her Excellency Mrs. Rachel Ruto, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya. Your presence and gracious contribution will be highly appreciated. Now, when people saw this it went online, and the number of the pastor started circulating. The pastor who had invited the Reverend Mutahi. And this is what happened. One of the Gen Z who sent him a message, the message was reading like this. Good evening, Reverend Mutahi. My name is Mwabili Mwagodi. I am the person who started the campaign to get rid of politicians from the church pulpit in Kenya. I see here you have invited Mrs. Rachel Ruto to your church for a fundraiser. This message is to notify you that we are coming for the fundraiser. God bless you. Salimieni huyo. They just informed him that we are coming in solidarity. Yes, you have invited Madam Rachel. You have invited other guests. You didn't invite us, but we have seen the details of the invitation card. So we are coming. On 30th, when Mama Rachel will be there with the security, with the other dignitaries, with the other members of parliament, whoever will be there to support the fundraiser, we as Gen Z are also coming for you, they told Reverend Mutahi. Now, we have been informed that after receiving, it was not only one message, this was just one of them. After consultation with the team, with the church leadership, sharing the messages and calls, people were giving calls and telling others were telling him, we don't want to see anyone, any politicians or their associates in church. The church must remain sacred. Others were sending, those messages and threatening. And I like the fact that the message we have seen is only saying, mkubwa, hata sisi tunakuja. Tunasikia umealika wengine na hata sisi tunakuja kwa salimia. So after this, the leadership of the church through the Reverend Mutahi said this. The leadership and pastoral team of Lavington United Church wishes to inform members that the fundraiser event scheduled for June 30th, 24 has been cancelled. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell if you're watching us for the first time to allow YouTube to notify you. Please give this video likes. And to all our subscribers and each and every person who is supporting this channel, I want to thank you in a very, very special way. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said here that the Gen Z dictates everything. The social, economic, and political trajectory that the country is taking. For a very long time, they have been left at the periphery, but they're saying we must be on the table where decisions are being made, period. They have forced William Ruto to recall the Finance Bill 2024. Last Sunday, they forced the members of parliament to keep off churches and they switched off their phones. I'm telling you, they forced Kimani Ichung'wah, who was chest thumping, that I'm the one who led a group of parliamentarians to support this bill. Kimani did not believe his eyes when he was evacuated through the tunnel, underground tunnel in parliament, and they were ferried using ambulances as if they were sick. They have forced members of parliament to flee. They force people to do things they don't want to do. But why exactly do you think the Gen Z, even after William Ruto has recalled the Finance Bill 2023, they are still at it? Because people were thinking like, you are rioting because you don't want this bill. Then the president has said he's succumbed to pressure. So why are you going to the streets? Why are you still, up in arms with the members of parliament who are associated directly or indirectly to the people who voted yes? And that is what I want us to look at, ladies and gentlemen. And without much ado, number one, these people want the church to stand with them. The National Council of Churches are with them. They have made it very clear that we stand with the generation. We support their peaceful demonstration. People need to talk. Recently, they even condemned the mass killing of our youths in parliament and its environs, and the killings in Rongai, and the one that I understand was very worse are the killings in Githurai. They have condemned, and they're saying this is how it should go. The Muslim Council, I think, also said, Gen Z, it is your time, go for it, we support you. So the Gen Z wants the church to stand with them because the church controls masses. It is in the church. It is the church that used them during the campaigns and told them William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua were men from God. So this time around, it's a new paradigm shift. They're saying the church must support them and they will compel it. There are those M-Pesa bishops who do not want to support them, while ambao wanapenda brown envelopes. Number two, this is coming at a time when their people have been killed. And they're asking, did it have to take the president blood for him to recall this? Why couldn't he just know that this was bad from the onset? People had rejected it right from giving their opinion in the public, where the public opinions were being given, public participation. And he knew, but it was being led by pride. People like Kimani Chungwa, people like Kimani Kuria, Ndindi Nyoro, and they thought they were chest thumping. And this is what led to all this. So the Gen Z is saying, we don't care even if you recall. We still maintain that no one will speak in church. Our people have been killed. The people have been killed as a result of the finance bill. Then you tell us that you have, recalled it. Is it going to resuscitate the lives of our fellow friends who have been killed? And they are really annoyed, by the way. They don't like the fact that they were to be killed. They simply went there and they were telling William Ruto, listen to us. So why would Ruto wait and listen to them after lives have been lost? William Ruto would have just said, okay, I have seen the protests, I have seen your, or even during public participation, they would have just said, okay, let us look at it. So they are annoyed about the killings. This was going to be a second wave of lies. And wherever they go, when they're given a chance to speak, they would start another wave. The very, very people who did not want, who had voted for the finance bill 2024 to go through, are the people who are now hiding behind it, and they're saying, William Ruto is a good person, he listened to you, now he has recalled. Listening to people when others are dead is not listening. Listening comes with the time. You should listen at the right time. People gave their views. People went for public participation. You cannot come here and now tell us that William Ruto is good. He has listened to you. Yes, you are listening to us when people are dead. And so they did not want to allow politicians who will walk and accompany Madam Rachel to give them a platform to start saying, he listened to you, he loves you, those kind of things. They're very, very frustrating, and pissing off sometimes. They didn't want that second. But you will see, wherever they go in funerals, in churches, wherever they will be given time, they will start saying, wale ambao walipiga kura wakisupport watasema, unajua rais wetu anawapenda, aliwasikiza. This is something that they don't want. Finance bill was just a trigger, ladies and gentlemen. They are tired of the government. It is not only the finance bill that is a problem. The whole of this government is a problem. According to this generation, they are saying that we need overhaul. That's why when William Ruto recalled it, he now felt that, amtaenda barabarani. No. They are saying we must do an overhaul. We must look at things, like I said, social, economic, religious, and political issues in Kenya must be relooked at holistically. Things must not go on. No one is going to hoodwink us by recalling the bill. Then you now say, sasa wamesema hata kama recall, we still need to talk about other issues. The cost of living is just too high. There's a lot of bickering in the government, a lot of wastage and corruption. So by recalling the bill, we still want to engage you. Listen to us. The cost of education is too high. Those generations have got certificates rotting in their safes because there are no jobs. When they try to engage in businesses, the purchasing power is too low and the environment for this government is too low. Even the cost of doing government business is just too expensive. And so, even if it was recalled, They are saying we are not going to allow any politician to do politics in our churches. The last one, Mama Rachel, as I said, has always taken advantage of her religious connection. By the way, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem with our First Lady. She's never offended me in any way. The only thing I don't like about her is the manner in which she's engaging into, some kind of political matters. For example, when the courts had decided that we were not to take our policemen to The Hague, I don't think she needed to get into it and telling us that we need to pray for our people. I understand. We need to pray, but she should have told the president. She's an assistant to the president. She should have tried to persuade him that it is bad. Even the Bible says that we need to respect authorities. William Ruto needs to respect the court verdicts. And I felt that instead of telling us that we have formed a prayer band to pray for our people, she should have tried to persuade the president. By the way, there's a way Mama Rich is not bad. It's only that if she keeps off matters politics, people will not have any problem with her. And the kind of money that is allocated to her office and the office of the second lady and that of Mrs. Mudavadi, people still have problems. But they didn't want to give Madam Rachel a chance to start playing her usual, theatrics. Unajua, na vile she looks and sounds very innocent, you'll always listen to her. So they have said, no, we're not going to give you, let you take advantage of prayers of our sacred pulpits to play politics. And I want to believe that this is the trend. Churches must be left to be churches, not political forums. And that's my take.